Welcome to Blathercast. We are on episode number 66. I am one of your hosts, Ken Doman, or at Nintendo79. It's like Nintendo, but with a K. Joined by Robbie Baxter, who is at Fifth Race, Fifthrace. Welcome to the podcast, Robbie. How's it been going?
It's going well, Ken. I got a little bit of a cold. I'm a little under the weather, but I haven't sneezed in 5 minutes, so I'm hoping I'm good for a little while.
Awesome. And this is the first podcast in a while we were actually doing the video on, and planning on posting it on YouTube. So if you normally listen on a podcast service and would care to see the video, we're going to put that up there for you guys.
We both have faces for radio, so.
Oh, yeah. So enjoy that, if you will. We just thought we would switch it up a little bit, if you will. In case you didn't know, the topic of the show is the Nintendo Switch. Today, we're going to talk about the brand new Nintendo console/portable system. It's coming out in just a few weeks, actually. Before we get into that, though, wanted to say that we do broadcast this show using a service called Zencastr. If you are interested in podcasting, it's a pretty cool way to put your podcast together and add in guests. And that is Zencastr, Zencastr with no E, Zencastr.com. So check that out. And so, Robbie, what else has been going on in your world the last week or so?
Well, work last week, and then let me think. Saturday, my son's basketball games got canceled because of, we were going to get an ice storm that was going to kill everybody, which didn't really happen here. I drove 4.5 hours to Michigan to watch Rogue One with my brother-in-law, and then the next day I drove 4.5 hours back home.
Wow, that is a heck of a trek.
Yeah, so it's fun. I got to see their new house. They just had a new baby, so it's hard for him to get out and do much. So he enjoyed the movie. It's my second time watching it. I really liked it again. And today I'm celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day by hanging out at the house with everybody. I know you got to work, but I don't. So.
Yeah, I'm doing this on my lunch break, so do have the time concern there. But yeah, it is MLK Day here. Daughter's off of school and all that, so my wife's out with the kids, out doing fun stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And also this week we have it's inauguration week. We'll have a new president by the end of this week, so all the fun involved with that.
Who knows? We might have two new presidents by the end of the week.
Really?
Never know.
Get a bonus?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they'll get impeachment done that quick. You never know.
Just churn them out. Yeah. Go through them. Go 45 and 6. Anyway, we've also, like, the weather has actually been pretty nice out for winter, and like the last it seems like the last few weeks we saw this threatening snowmageddon or stormageddon. It's coming.
It's like winter storm Jupiter.
Yeah, and at least where I'm at, it hasn't happened. The worst we had was a little bit of ice the other day. So
yeah, they were talking about closing down everything for 2 days straight. We're gonna have up to an inch of ice on things, and power lines coming down, roofs caving in. I mean, we woke up and my son's basketball games were canceled preemptively, but I drove 4.5 hours to Michigan without any trouble. So,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, they canceled my daughter's school last week too, and I guess it was a little icy in the morning, but it turned out to be a pretty fantastic day after that. So,
yeah,
I don't know. They just burned a snow day, I guess. But anyway, enough of that. The weather and everything. Have you been watching or reading or playing anything cool?
Yeah,
Star Wars again.
Yeah, I saw Rogue One again.
Yeah.
I've started reading Red Rising again. I don't know if you remember me talking about that.
Yeah.
It's a kind of dystopian 200 to 500 years from now solar system. It's by an author named Pierce Brown, I think. Really good series. I listened to audiobooks the first time. Now I got the books for Christmas, so I'm reading those. I'm also listening to the second book of Game of Thrones again. I've read those before, but I'm listening to it. So I'm kind of doing a re-up on 2 different series at the same time right now. Yeah. We finished watching all of the Sherlock season 4, which was pretty good. It wasn't our favorite season. I think there's been some back and forth from the media heads as to whether it was good or not. But, it's just 3 episodes, about an hour and a half each. I enjoyed it.
Shortest seasons. That was like a whole season.
Yeah.
British.
But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's almost like a feature-length movie, really close to it. So
Right.
But yeah, not much other than that. I played a little WoW last weekend, but haven't done anything since then. So
Okay. Yeah, I've been getting into the whole Blizzard universe myself. Started playing some Diablo 3.
nice.
A bunch of guys at work have been getting into it. They started a new season off, season 9, which how they do, they have like specific gear and stuff and incentives if you start a new game, like a new character over and go through. They have like challenges to do and stuff. But it's been a lot of fun. Got my brother into it, got him a copy of it. We're working on getting like a clan or guild or whatever together through some people at work. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. And I played it before, but not too much. I mean, I just went through the story and I just stopped. So it's been fun getting back into that and trying out different characters and builds and stuff. So yeah, been having a lot of fun with Diablo 3. So not at all a new game, quite an old game at this point, but it's changed a lot since I played it last. There were a lot of adjustments they made to the game. A lot of things just are more streamlined. The way you use your potions and spells and stuff, it just seems much smoother than it was before. But yeah, I've been liking that. My wife and I went to see Passengers the other day.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It's the Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt sci-fi, and it's about this basically like a cruise liner going through space to another planet, to another Earth-like planet, and their trip gets interrupted. They all go into like hibernation. They're supposed to wake up 120 years later when they're like almost at the other planet, and they have like 4 months to just kind of hang out on the ship and do stuff, and then they're there. Well, it gets interrupted. They have it doesn't really crash into something, but there's like a meteor that it gets through the defenses of the ship, and it wakes up one passenger, Chris Pratt's character, and he's awake all by himself on this huge ship with just like tons of stuff there, but his access is limited. But he has like a badge or like a bracelet thing that gets him into places, and just all alone. There's like one bartender that's like an android that he talks to, and that's it. And without going completely into all the details of it, if you're interested in seeing it for spoiler purposes, but Jennifer Lawrence's character does she does wake up about a year after Chris Pratt's character, and then he kind of introduces her to this whole world, and basically they still have 90 years left in this mission, so they're not going to survive basically till they reach the destination.
Right.
So it's an interesting concept, and such a very small cast. I mean, it's really just these two. There's another character that comes in at one point, but it's pretty neat to think about that kind of like space travel and some of the things that could happen. And the ship design I thought was really cool, and some of the effects they use on the way they get gravity by just kind of spinning around, similar to like the 2001 space station in that movie. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. I wish there was like maybe a little bit more to it. I mean, it does have a little bit of a twist to it, but not enough, I think. But it was entertaining. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, that was Passengers with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence in that. You hadn't seen that one, right?
No, I've
I don't
not.
know if you had any interest in it at all, but
I'll probably watch it on Blu-ray or whatever.
That's a good one for a Blu-ray or a digital copy kind of thing. But yeah, thought that was cool. Also been watching the show The Good Place a little bit. I don't know if you've seen that at all. Kristen Bell. Yeah. It's the first season. Ted Danson. Yep, he's in it, and it's kind of about this girl who dies, and it's not called heaven. They just call it The Good Place, and it's kind of an amalgamation of a lot of different religions and beliefs of the afterlife. And turns out she's not supposed to be there.
Right.
So she's trying to like justify her place there, and it's a comedy, but it deals with some interesting ethical issues, and I think it's pretty cool. I've been kind of enjoying that show.
Yeah, I've wanted to watch at least the first couple episodes because it looked kind of funny. But
yeah. So I got caught up with that. I don't know how many there were. I think it was like half a dozen episodes. So
Okay.
into that a little bit. But
I didn't tell you guys. Did I tell you I got a new car?
yeah. Last time you got it was a Nissan.
That's right, Nissan Versa. Yeah, I've just been getting
How you
stuff
like
working on it. I like it. I like it a lot. I drove it, like I said, 4.5 hours to and from Michigan this weekend, and
breaking it in.
yeah, broke it in. Really nice. I got a little uncomfortable, but I kind of resituated myself and got comfortable and was fine for both trips. So just hit the cruise and go, and it worked really well. Moving through traffic pretty quickly, and I didn't have a huge van. I was trying to accelerate to get past a car, and it was nice. So
cool. Oh, that's nice. But that was about it for me on anything else. We did watch Through the Looking Glass. It's new onto Netflix. It's not new in theaters. It's been out for a while, but it was the sequel to the Alice in Wonderland like reimagining. So I liked it. It actually got really bad reviews, and I was kind of surprised because I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, there are definitely problems with it, but I thought it was pretty interesting movie and pretty entertaining throughout. That I think the kids liked it, but it focuses a little more on Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter character, and Sacha Baron Cohen plays a character called Time, and it kind of involves a lot of time travel actually, which is kind of weird. And I think I've read Through the Looking Glass, but I really don't remember it. It's been a long time, so I have no idea how well it even relates to the book at all, if anything. But it was, I thought it was a pretty decent movie, especially since it's on Netflix, and if you have that, you can just watch it for free. So
sure,
worth checking out, I think. So
I have been watching Fuller House.
Oh boy, yeah.
Did you watch the first season of that?
I didn't. My wife, she powered through them. Like I didn't even realize it was out hardly, and she was almost through the season. And I was like,
I think it's pretty funny. I think a lot of it is probably just nostalgic giggles, but
right.
I don't think anybody who hasn't seen the show would enjoy it. Like the original show, like grew up on Full House, would enjoy it at all. But I think it's pretty funny.
Well, the format kind of comes off as a little dated. So anyway, definitely for nostalgia, sure.
Let's talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, the big news of the week. Nintendo had a conference last Thursday night, like late Thursday night, like 11 o'clock Eastern time, because it was done out of Japan. And it only lasted an hour, but they went into the hardware, talked about release price and some games coming out and a few of the details. So we have this new console, but it's also a portable system, and it's going to come out on March 3rd, 2017. So not too far away. Yeah,
only $300.
$299. Yep, it'll be $300 in the US. That's the release price. I feel like they couldn't really go higher than that because they're competing against PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and those are both available at $300.
Yeah, it's
sometimes
just
even less than that, and with games packed in and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. That doesn't seem too bad.
No, I don't think so. That's kind of what I thought it was going to be. So they were right in line with expectations there. Now the portable side of it obviously does have to run on a battery. I guess it has anywhere from 2.5 to 6 hours on your battery, depending on the game and how graphically intensive it is.
But let's just stop and explain though. Yeah. This is one unit. I mean, this is a console and a portable, DS style, not quite DS, but it's a portable game system.
Exactly. Yeah, it's you don't have to be tethered to any base or anything. It has a base, but all that does is connect to your TV.
Right.
You plug into that, and it just beams it to your TV screen, and you can just switch over to it seamlessly. The controller is pretty unique. It has these, they call them Joy-Cons, like joystick controllers. Yep. It comes with two of them, a left and a right side, and they snap on to the sides of the tablet Switch console. So you can snap them on there, play it that way, play it portably. They also can be taken out of that and just used independently. And then you can also snap them into just a little shell controller.
Okay.
So they can kind of snap together as the shell. So a lot of different variation there. the way they separate like that, though, you can turn them on their side and you can play 2-player games, which is kind of neat because they both have the little thumbstick and 4 buttons, and then like the shorter buttons on the top. So yeah, it comes with a lot of variety and stuff you can do there.
And so can you buy other, like, more of the controller so you can play 2-player with? Okay.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but the controllers are actually really pricey.
I would imagine.
You get a set of them that, like, 2 of those, the Joy-Cons are $79, like $80.
Wow.
You can also get what they call a Pro controller, which is just more like a standard, like an Xbox or PlayStation type controller, and it's $70. It's $69.99.
Okay.
Or you can buy
the Pro controller would be like it sits in your house all the time. It's just for okay.
Yep. I mean, you could take it with you and play it on the portably as well.
Okay, it'd be a bit redundant at that point.
A little bit, yeah. You wouldn't need to do that. But yeah, the accessories on it seem all of them really high. Like, you can get a separate dock. That's another $90.
Wow.
So if you have like a second TV, you
want at least they made them. At least they made it modular, right? I mean,
yeah. You can just swap it out and take it anywhere, plug it into any TV. Yeah. Also, it's pretty cool that it uses USB-C, and that's how it charges it.
Cool.
And I'm pretty sure that's how it charges the base as well. So it uses the same kind of cord.
Okay.
And
so the base and the base has a battery?
No. It just has a USB-C cord that plugs into it.
Yeah.
And then you just snap in the tablet part of it. It is a touch screen. I guess that was kind of not clear when they first announced it because they didn't show it being touched at all, but it's a regular capacitive touch screen. So that's kind of cool. And this one is region free, which is I think it's the first Nintendo console to do that.
Wow.
You can buy a game from Japan or from Europe and play it on a console in the US.
Good.
And you used to not be able to do that. You'd have to get a console from Japan to play games released in Japan.
Does that mean the games have to support multiple regions, like language-wise?
That's a good question. I don't know if they'll all have to do that, or they'll still have different regions software is released, but it'll be compatible with any other system.
Because I know the big complaint used to be that that sweet game got released in Japan for Nintendo, but it never came to the US.
Right.
You still have to play it in Japanese, but people still want to play it. But
yeah. And that's one thing about this whole conference is, I mean, Nintendo's a Japanese company. This was, announced in Japan, but the whole conference was all translated. There was like not really anything in English there, and even some of they had like a guy from Electronic Arts from EA there, and I think they had a couple other like native English speakers, but it just seemed it was a bit awkward, and they tried to have these transitions where they'd say switch and like snap their fingers and switch between speakers and stuff.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch it on YouTube, it's kind of cringeworthy, but I don't know. It's how they did. You could tell they were trying really hard to make this a really smooth performance and stuff. But that's what it is. I mean, it's some neat hardware they're showing off. But it does harken a lot back to some of the older days because you have a cartridge again. You have there's no disc in it. Also, no backward compatibility. So the only backward compatibility would be like digital, like if they re-release stuff on it.
Is there any digital?
Yeah, it has 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, which is not very much at all. No. But it has a micro SD slot, so you can have micro SD cards. I think they said up to 2 terabyte, which I don't think there are even any out that are that big yet. But that's their storage solution. They want to just use micro SD cards. Okay. And if you get a bigger one that has the higher speed on it, it should be just as good as having internal storage that's bigger. And I did hear a rumor that the base would be compatible with like an external hard drive. So you plug in like a standard, like a USB hard drive or flash drive. That I don't know if that's been fully confirmed though. So, but yeah, the storage solution is. So
you should be able to download games like to the system somehow and play them that way without buying a cartridge.
Yeah. So that's all kind of coming a little bit clearer after this. I don't know if all the details are out there. Now, the Joy-Cons themselves have some pretty neat stuff going on with those. We talked about those a little bit, but they have what they call HD Rumble in it, which it has like a bunch of different like little rumble devices in the controller. They can have different sensitivities, and you can. The way they showed it off, the guy held the controller up, and he said it felt like an ice cube dropped into his glass, and he could feel it like rattling around in the controller.
Okay.
And then he had like a second ice cube, and what that was just demonstrating is that you can feel like different points of rumble where it actually felt like there was something in the controller when there's not.
I see.
So, yeah, it's kind of weird how they try to get that message across, and it is something kind of difficult to explain without
Sure.
getting like really technical and like pulling apart the controller to see all this stuff. But not sure what all they're going to do with that. They have one game that seems to use that a lot. It's called 1-2 Switch. So we'll talk about in the games part of it. But also the controllers have an IR sensor, so not sure what all they're going to do with that. They said it can detect distances, and
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to be able to control your TV with it or what, but it has that. Also has an NFC reader for the amiibos, so those little plastic characters, you can still use those on this one. And there's like a wrist strap thing that can plug into the top of the Joy-Cons, and it makes it a little easier to hit the L and R buttons on top of it, and like a wrist strap like with the old Wii remotes.
Okay.
Games do have like motion support. So
Okay. Cool.
and right now it looks like they just come in black, but there's also a red and a blue variation. So got a couple different colors in those. But yeah, those are like pretty much the main features of the hardware. Of course, Nintendo doesn't talk about specs as far as like the processor, RAM,
Right.
that kind of stuff. I'm sure someone will dig into that soon enough. But
Because most people's cell phones have the same capability, probably.
it's using an NVIDIA processor, so similar to other mobile processors like their Tegra line. I think that they have they have their own tablet called the Shield, and other Android devices use that as well. But yeah, this is not Android though. They did say that they're not using an Android OS or anything.
Okay.
They have a new online network, and they're going to start charging for this one. Up until now, Nintendo's had all their online has been free, but it has also not been very good. So
Right.
yeah, they're going to be charging for that in the fall. They say when the system comes out, you'll get it for free until fall, but there's not going to be really a whole lot to play on it till the fall anyway. So
Oh wow.
it's not like you're going to be getting a huge, bargain out of that. This is like where I think that kind of downfall of this is, or a lot of the criticism is coming at Nintendo right now. Their main like lead launch title is a Zelda game, which is awesome. It's great. It's called Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Looks amazing. It's also on the Wii U though, so it's not like
I see.
it's a totally new game. It's like it's been in the works forever, and it's coming out on the old system too. And yeah, don't know how much it's going to take advantage of the new one. But the only other games they have coming out is that one I mentioned earlier, that 1-2 Switch. And it's just like a bunch of mini games, and it uses like those motion control things. And the big demonstration they showed was like these two gunslingers doing like a shootout where it counts down, and you got to like pull the controller and pull the trigger. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. It might be fun in practice. But then it has like a Bomberman game, which Bomberman's fun and everything, but not at all like a new type of property or game. And a Skylanders game, which I think this game is already out on other consoles already. It's called the Imaginators, and and then another Just Dance title, and that's it. That's all the launch is just those core like 5 games. So pretty thin at launch. They showed off another really neat looking game though. It's called Arms, and this is a Nintendo IP, and it has just characters like it's like a boxing match, like a fighting game, but they have these like long extendo arms. They look like Inspector Gadget arms or something, and it looks cool. I think it looks fun, and it looks like a different sort of fighting game. And use it with the 2 Joy-Cons like you're boxing in real life, and you can punch and swing and everything with those. That looks cool.
Yeah.
and that's coming out in the spring. They didn't say when. And then they have Mario Kart 8, which has already been out on the Wii U, but this is like a deluxe version of that.
Right.
So pretty much a re-release. And then Splatoon 2 comes out in the summer, and they call it Splatoon 2, but I was reading about it, and it sounds like it's more of a like souped up version of the original.
Okay.
Like a lot of the same stuff with, you know, some new features added in. And I highlighted a few other ones down here. There are quite a few coming out throughout the year, but a lot of them are, you know, remakes and games that have already been out. Skyrim is coming out this fall, and this is the same game that came out, I think, in like 2013, maybe. I mean, or maybe even before that. Yeah, 2013. So it's been available on the PC, other consoles for a while.
Sure.
This makes it portable, so I don't know.
Okay.
Take that for And the one game I was excited about, other than Zelda, they have a new Mario game called Super Mario Odyssey, and it looks extremely weird, but it's a Mario game, and it's Mario like in the real world for part of it. Like he was like in a city with like cars and traffic and stuff going around, and yeah, it looks pretty bizarre, but it's a new Mario game, and it looks cool. I mean, they always do something different with Mario, so.
Right.
And that's coming this year. Other than that, you're getting, I'll just kind of quickly go through some of these. FIFA, that's the game from Electronic Arts. Minecraft.
Yeah.
I think Minecraft they put on everything, so not a big surprise there. Although Minecraft did get bought by Microsoft, so that's interesting that they continue to release the game on other consoles.
Yeah.
A really old game, a remake of Street Fighter 2, which I thought was just hilarious that they're going to revisit the old Street Fighter and put it out on this. So, yeah, not sure what all they're thinking.
Ultra Street Fighter 2?
Ultra, yeah, it's called Ultra Street Fighter 2.
Nice.
And a lot of like really Japanese titles. I don't know. I'm not familiar with them, but, you know, like Xenoverse 2 or Dragon Ball game, Fire Emblem, Shin Megami Tensei, I have no idea. and Xenoblade Chronicles, which I've heard good things about that, but it's not really my type of game. So yeah, and that's it for this year. So that's the Switch.
But what are your thoughts, like overall feeling? Like it sounded like, so to me, you sounded really excited at the start of this conversation, and by the end of the conversation, you're like not very excited.
Kinda, yeah. I'm excited for the hardware, and it is a new Nintendo system, so that is exciting. And the things it could do and the potential of it, I think, is good. But what it looks like in reality, when this comes out, there's not going to be a whole lot to do on it,
right?
And that just kind of stinks. As I've been waiting for this Zelda game forever, and the thing is, I have hardware in my house now that can play it, and I don't know if it's going to look that much different on the Switch. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm surprised they don't have a Pokemon game on there.
You know, that really surprised me too, because Pokemon is really hot right now. I mean, you have Pokemon Go.
Pokemon's so hot right now.
A sensation. And they had a 3DS, a couple of Pokemon games come out last year. And yeah, it's a big deal. And the fact that they couldn't get something, even if it's not even a full-fledged title, at least some kind of, even if it's a mini game or like a $10 like digital download or something.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. Did they mention GPS inside the unit?
No, I didn't see anything mentioning any kind of GPS.
And then they mention, I assume it has Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, yes. But yeah, no other like cellular technology or anything. And the other really weird part that I don't quite get yet is it connects to smartphones in some way. And they say that somehow you'll be able to have an app, and that does some of your voice chat. It also has like interaction where you can manage your friends list and messaging and stuff, but it's like on this separate thing, like it's on your phone or tablet.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anything from that. Like they didn't show any screenshots or demonstration of the app, but that's going to be pretty integral, I think, into this whole new ecosystem, this online that they're working on. How
big is the screen that you play portably on?
And I think it's just a little over 6 inches. I think 6.2 or something.
Okay, so it's cell phone or mobile or big like mobile phone.
It's a good size. I mean, I think it's about comparable to like the
the
iPhone
Notes
Plus
and the
or the
iPhone
Note
Plus.
yeah, that kind of size screen. So it's not not terribly small, but not really easy to put in your pocket either. So
I'm showing my 6P.
yeah, yep, there you go. It's about that size. It is only 720p though, so it's a little bit lower resolution than some current phone.
So you'll have to play it with your arms straight out in front of you to realize the full potential.
Yeah, I think 720p is actually not bad for a portable system, but
no, it probably
a
isn't.
lot of phones have high resolution though, and you'll see that.
Sure.
Although when it's docked, it'll play on the TV up to 1080. So 1080p will be the standard.
So does the dock have like an extra GPU in it or something?
Not really. It doesn't have any extra hardware, but the system can run at a higher clock speed when it's docked because it has that power.
Okay.
From the the AC power into it. When it's undocked, it just kind of clocks at a lower speed because it doesn't have to run at the full resolution.
I gotcha.
So
okay.
That's what they did to, I think, extend the battery life maybe. Because I think they could have pushed for the 1080p, but I don't. They probably in their testing just came up with it wasn't worth it, I imagine.
Right.
For the loss of battery life and stuff.
Makes sense.
I think that's what.
So they're saying 2.5 to 6 hours of playtime.
Yeah, that's what they're estimating on that.
That's pretty. That's not really that bad at all. I mean,
no, it's not bad. And I think it'll be much easier to get chargers for this. It's using a universal standard, which that's a big deal, using the USB-C. And you can get those little power bricks and plug in a USB-C connector to it and extend it, like if you're on a flight or something. So it's not as big a deal, I think, as it could have been on the whole battery life thing. And trying to think if there's any other features that I kind of glossed over, but I mean that's the gist of it. And it's
I think I feel the same way you do. I think the hardware sounds really cool. It's just too bad there's not going to be anything to play.
Right. And I brought up the video and I got my kids in the room. I wanted to see their reactions. I showed them. And they honestly just kind of lost interest and walked out of the room. Like at first they were kind of like, "Oh, this is a new game system, new games." But they perked up a little bit at the Mario game because kids just everybody loves Mario. But not a whole lot of interest otherwise. So I don't know if I would have much reason to get this. It's definitely not at launch. I don't travel enough to justify having a portable system like that.
Right.
And I have, PC and other things that can do the other. And I have a Wii U and I can play almost all of the same games that are out for this. So I think until Mario comes out, and maybe we'll see some more stuff at E3 in June of this year, or they'll hopefully show some more third-party support and maybe some other new games that they haven't announced yet. So until we get more of that, I think it's going to be hard sell. And I think that's unfortunate because they opened pre-orders, and I think it's sold out at like GameStop, but I'm pretty sure you can still go on Amazon or Best Buy and get one.
Right.
It
comes out in March, you said?
Yeah, March 3rd. So really soon. I mean, this is only like 6 weeks away, if that, I think. So yeah, right around the corner. And I'm kind of wondering why they're doing launching it as early as they are, because they don't really have to.
Right, they might as well wait a little bit longer and have a couple more games out.
More games ready, I guess, and get your online service more, ramped up and stuff. But they want, they're pushing it out. It is Nintendo. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I mean, my call sign is, Nintendo. I have had every home console I think they've ever made. I never got a 3DS, even though I think they're cool. I just never got one. So this might be the first one I really wait out on, though, because I usually get their systems like at launch. But that I feel like especially after the Wii U and how that hasn't gone over well, I haven't gotten a lot of new games out of that. We'll see. I mean, I think there are still more details to be unveiled.
Sure.
Especially on their online side. I'm interested on this whole, like, how it interacts with phones and stuff, like what they're going to do with that. Because it seems kind of sketchy right now. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. And I don't know how you could require everybody that wants to use your service to own a smartphone or tablet. I mean, most people do, but not everybody. And especially not kids. I mean, my kids, they have access to them, but I don't want them to have another device with them while they're playing a game. There's one other thing I wanted to mention. Parental controls on the Switch. Since I mentioned kids and stuff. They actually do a pretty good job, I think, of this. You can go in as a parent, set up your account, and you can put in time limits on the game. and you can have it so that, after an hour or 2 hours, an alert will come up and say your time is up. It's funny because it's not like really forcing them to quit, but then on your smartphone, it'll like alert you that their time is up, and it'll tell you if they're still playing it. So if they're still playing it, you can then shut off the system and say you're done.
So I kind of like that better than
Yeah.
what some places have done, where it's like they just shut it off right away.
Yeah.
Or like they take the parent's job out of it. Like
Right.
at least in this way, the parent still has to interact with their child and tell them to stop playing,
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if they the way they explain it in the video is the parent does have to have that extra interaction. I don't know if there's a way to set it up to just lock it down after their time is up. But the way they showed it, you set the time limit. It'll give them like a kind of like a dinging bell in the corner of the screen, and it shows them that it's time to stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's still up to that parent to go in and say, if they aren't doing what they're supposed to, if they're not getting off of it, to stop the game. Obviously, you can also limit by the rating scale, and if they can't be T-rated, or they have everyone, then they have everyone 7 and up, so you can go in there and set all that stuff up too.
Cool.
So, yeah, that was pretty neat. I appreciate that as a parent, having a little more control and having a way to limit the time on the game system. So
sure.
Yep, thought that was kind of a neat feature. I haven't seen that before, at least not implemented in that way on a game system. So I think that's it. I thought there might have been more to talk about it, but and I'm sure there will be more to come. But
yeah, well, I think it'll be interesting once you can actually get your hands on it inside a GameStop or Walmart.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, go to Best Buy or someplace to actually check one out. And I'd imagine they'll be showing up soon. I mean, if this thing's launching in the first week of March, next few weeks we'll probably see the demo models start showing up in stores. So yeah, I should be able to go out there and check them out. And yeah, I'm interested in the whole 1-2 switch thing, because that seems like something you really would have to see in person.
Yeah.
To see how some of the interactions go. And their idea behind that game is a game that you don't really need a screen. That a lot of the games just involve the rumble of the controller, and you're like face to face with your opponent. So
okay.
It's kind of odd. Yeah. Again, this is Nintendo. They're not afraid to try some weird stuff.
Sure.
So that's what they're going for. So yeah, March 3rd, $2.99 in the US, and you got a few games to choose from. But Zelda does look absolutely outstanding, though. I mean, that game.
I saw that on the original trailer for the whole system. It's pretty cool looking.
Yep, and it looks like it has like voice support in it. Like every other Zelda game, none of the characters actually speak. It's just all text. So from what I've seen of this, I don't know if Link talks, but other ones do. So I thought that was cool that they finally added some voice into the game, and it looks huge. So excited for that one. But yeah, I think that's all we got on the Nintendo Switch. And if you have any questions or any comments about it, feel free to post that on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/bblatherskites, or send us a tweet at bblatherskites on our Twitter account, and contact any of those ways. Robbie, do you have any other questions or anything else you wanted to talk about before we shut out for the week?
No, I think I'm good. I apologize to everybody. My video has been zooming in and out the whole time, and I have no idea how to fix that. But
he's just out of focus in real life.
I'm just out of focus all around. So anyway, other than that, no. Thanks, Ken, for bringing us all that information about the Nintendo Switch. It sounds like it could be cool.
Could be. We're hoping. Maybe by the holidays this year.
Maybe by next holidays. Yeah,
it'll be ready to go. But yeah, we'll update on that as details come out, of course. So thank you everyone for listening. We will catch you all next time. Later.